Hello, everyone, and welcome to DBL Race to the Playoffs. So today we're going to be taking a look at the final sim of the DBL post-trade deadline. It features a few interesting playoff races. It includes Washington, New York, and Brooklyn all battling for the 8th seed in the East. Will Detroit hang on to that 7th seed, or will they flip? Meanwhile, the West, this is the exciting one. We get a hopefully healthy by the end of the season Houston team, along with Golden State going up against the Warriors and Jazz for that final spot. Though I do think that there is a small chance that we see Toronto sneak into the East as well. All right, so you should now be able to see my screen, and let's go. There's a bunch of people that will be able to comment throughout, and at the end we'll also have a chat thing that we'll ask some questions. All right. So we'll just start real quick with a till playoffs, and we'll pause it with a few days left here just in case it's real close. So right here, there's I think 3 games left. So 3 games left. It doesn't look like there's any real close races. Okay, there is. There is some real close races out west. So out west, 3 games left. Portland is currently out 1 game. So Portland is 1 game out of the playoffs with 3 games left. Memphis is 2 games out, and Utah barely is ahead of them. So it's going to be real close here down the wire. But we'll have to see. So, okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. So, Golden State clinched. Golden State clinched. All right. We have a 69 win Indiana team, 67 win OKC taking the conferences, and Sacramento will actually be at 4. They held on to 4. Wow, that is insane. How are they down at 4? Wow. Wade even had a great second. Actually, Wade kind of struggled, to be honest. Wade had a tumultuous season. He had 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists over the second half. But that was with his time with Miami. Wow, he really throughout the season fluctuated depending on if he was with a good team or a bad team. That's kind of disappointing. So we'll now just go through some of these teams and just comment in the comments if you want me to hop over to your team. But first, I want to focus on the snubbed team. So wow, Portland and Memphis both finished 2 games out. Portland held on that all season. Oh, it was an injury to Myers Leonard, cost Portland a playoff push. Damn, I feel so bad for Damian Lillard here. The man carries this team the last 2 seasons, and he really deserved that playoff run. Steven Adams, though, had a low-key kind of okay rookie season and could be a force in a couple years, though. So be interesting to see how this team pans out. All right, so I'm going to go into the let's see. Let's look at the Warriors and see if they recovered over the second half of the year. Curry is Steph Curry, as you know, puts up great numbers every year. Glenn Rice actually was pretty okay off the bench, but AI was probably their second best bench player after David Lee. Klay Thompson being healthy really didn't do much. They only had 3 players score more than 10 points, and one was Curry, who did it twice, scoring at 22 points. Let's take a look real quick at the Eastern Conference is divide. So Brooklyn makes the playoffs, winning 42 games. However, there is a 7-game drop-off before Toronto. I told you Toronto might make a push there. Peyton Siva, low-key, probably an all-rookie team guy. He had a great season. Phenomenal draft pick by Pickadude. Great job. I think I pronounced that right. We'll have to find out. I don't know if he's here. And let's take a look at Toronto. So Toronto, oh no, an injury to DeRozan. That is a disappointing way to end their season. DeRozan missing the playoffs. The team he had signed with made the playoffs. Oh, just disappointment. Will you guys think Rudy Gay is going to be back? Because I think he's getting out of here, whether it's in trade or I don't think he's going to get cut. But I think he's going to get traded out of here. Now let's take a look at Sacramento and see how the hell a team so good finished so poorly. Having 3 superstars, you would seem to think that they're almost a lock, but it would turn out that without Ryan Anderson being healthy, His team just couldn't get it done. Jimmer Fredette put up great stats. And yeah, it's just a little disappointment here. So yeah, check Utah, please. Yeah, you think Rudy's going bye-bye? Yeah, we're going to take a look at Utah for you, Damien. So Utah made the playoffs. They have one of the best young cores. Enes Kanter, Oladipo, Gordon Hayward, Derek Favors. As a great young team. They definitely have potential to be great. Yeah, we'll take a look at Denver next. And yeah, I don't know what to say other than this was a pretty solid season for Denver. They have a very well balanced roster. There's no real true superstar there. I think that free agency might hit hit Utah a little hard here. You'll see that they have what is that? 4 starters, and their 7th man all hitting free agency. It's a lot. All right, we're gonna take a look here. It looks like everyone wants to see the shitty teams, so I guess we'll just start with the worst teams in the league. In the East, that is Cleveland, who has 18 wins and 64 losses. Again, that Nintendo 64. But worth noting, despite that struggles, Tristan Thompson and Noel both produced pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie, I think Noel's a little disappointing. I don't think he's gonna win Rookie of the Year, though he might be the best rookie by a mile. Fan definitely won the draft. He would go number 1, I think, in any redo of the draft. If you want to trade me him for Macklemore, you're 100% accepted. That's how you win 18 games. Let's see how you win less. With just 16 wins. Granted, Pau Gasol missed 20 games, so that helps a lot. 76ers struggles are very real. Alex Len was a bright spot on this team, and Chris Humphries had a great season, definitely boosting his value, though I see almost no way in which he returns to Philadelphia. Though with a lot of cap room, this team could be potentially promising. So we'll see. Let's go on to the next one. So that's currently 16 is the mark to beat. Denver, but they won 33 games. They weren't too bad. They moved on from D Wade, but Bosch put up great numbers. Tim Hardaway put up some solid numbers, and Jordan Hamilton. Wow, he's going to be something special in a couple of seasons. He is a free agent at the end of this one, but he is restricted, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly where he goes. I think he could be potentially in the $14 to $16 million a year range. I think Denver should be able to afford that. They do have Chris Bosh's expiring $18 million, and yeah, I'm hoping they should definitely be able to afford him. There should be no reason he doesn't come back. Andre Miller's contract's expired. Yeah, they're going to be bringing him back. So he will be returning, so to speak. Next up, we'll take a look at. So still 16's the mark to beat. 18 wins for Dallas, led by their version of Pau Gasol, aka Amari Stoudemire. And let's just say he is one unhappy motherfucker. This dude just got handed to the worst team in the league on paper. If you took him away from this team would probably win 10 games. Amari is a force of nature on a horrible team, and there is no way this man is happy with that, other than the fact he's making $21 million a year, which I'm sure anyone would be happy about. Unfortunately, the bad prog for Rudy Dubois, that's always disappointing to see. But the beat actually produced probably his best year of his DBL career, and Vince Carter was low-key productive. So this team, even though they're a couple years removed from a championship against Miami, who did not do well this year, it's interesting. Miami and Dallas both complete rebuilds, both occupying near bottom spots just 2 years after being in the championship against each other. Now we'll look at Minnesota. 15 wins. They are the worst team in the league. A season-ending injury was suffered by Terrence Williams. And career player Corey Joseph was probably the best thing about this franchise. Great job. Woo, GMing peak. All right. Now I'm going to take and we'll look at some questions, and then we might peek around a little bit more. All right. Some comments. Bosch was good. He produced 18 PER. It was pretty solid. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else worth noting? Do I think any of Utah's free A's are going to? So we use in-game free A's in this league, not just rough estimates based on projections and such, like in ABA. This league kind of goes for more traditional BBGM feel. Um, let's take a look. I would say realistically, I don't think Big Al is going to want to resign. And Derek Favors will auto test free A. You lucked out with Gordon Hayward. He actually progged down, and that might have helped you because he will not be testing free agency, so you're going to get him for whatever rate he wants. I would say realistically, you're looking at maybe Derek Favors and Al Jefferson, but possibly just Favors. First overall pick is probably going to go. I think it's Philly is the worst team, but record-wise, Philly or Minnesota. We can actually see the draft lottery. Let's have to the draft lottery currently. Philly has two chances here. So they got two shots, and Minnesota has the top pick most likely. I would say this is actually really interesting. So this Philly pick is from Phoenix, right? If it falls in the top 3, Phoenix gets it. But if it falls in any of these picks, it goes to Philly. But I would say Vishu probably is going to be the one that gets the first overall pick. I don't know why. First overall teams never get it. So I'd say Philly's going to be getting it. And if you look at Philly's roster, they have a pretty blank slate, so they're probably going to take the best player available. I think they can wait time, but for realism reasons, I really hope they pick Embiid. I really want them to pick Embiid. Vishu, if you're watching this, pick Embiid. We got any other questions? It just looks like people are begging the draft lottery not to screw them. All right, so I'm gonna take a real quick look at some league leaders, and we'll just analyze some of the cool stats, and then we'll take a look at a playoff preview. All right. So Kevin Durant led the league in points by almost 5 points per game. Well deserved. Probably MVP. I'm not going to look at leaderboards here because awards are for later. You guys can spoil it for yourselves if you want. Kobe Bryant in second makes sense. Paul George over 20. It's kind of shocking. And to see Chris Paul at 21 is sad for any Clippers fans, but Fleecer, you did a good job on that trade. Rebounds led by Love, who missed most of the season. So Bynum might be Defensive Player of the Year, honestly. That'd be pretty hype. I'd like to see a Bynum Defensive Player of the Year. He did wonders for Charlotte. I think Charlotte was one of the higher playoff teams. Yeah, they won 50 games, and Charlotte's in 4th. Yeah, come on. Come on, give that to him. Give Bynum Defensive Player of the Year, and I will be so happy. What's his blocks at? He averaged 2.5 blocks and 1.4 steals. Yeah, he deserves Defensive Player of the Year there. Great season from Charlotte. I'd say if you're looking at GM of the Year, the most likely candidates are going to be Charlotte, potentially Milwaukee or Detroit. But realistically, it's going to most likely be New Orleans or Sacramento. They both made huge moves. Let's see. All right. So let's do a real quick look at the playoffs and we'll make some projections here. So MVP projection is in my book probably going to be Durant. I mean, he led OKC to the first. Defensive Player of the Year probably going to go to Bynum. I want to say Bynum. Rookie of the Year probably Schroeder on Memphis. It looks like I have to fix a few of these images, which is not going to be a problem. All right, so playoff preview. I'm expecting. I'm gonna take the underdog here. I'm gonna say Golden State. Curry is a absolute beast. Team's healthy. I say Golden State in 6. Okay, call me crazy. Golden State in 6. Sacramento in 4. Don't really think it's too much of a question of who's going to win there, but I think it's going to be Sac. Carmelo had an okay year, but he isn't the Carmelo of old. He's declined a lot. I'm going to say This is gonna be a tough one, but I'm gonna say San Antonio will win in 6 or 7. That series could honestly go either way. It's very balanced. And I'm gonna say New Orleans takes the cake in the bottom bracket. But regardless, I think the top 2 teams, or the top team from the top 4, is actually going to be SAC. I think that I'd be shocked if any team other than SAC gets to the conference finals from these 4. And then from these ones, I want to say it's either going to be New Orleans or San Antonio, but I'm going to make a crazy prediction. Say it's going to be San Antonio, Sacramento in the conference finals, and San Antonio is going to go to the finals. And I think it's going to be San Antonio, and they're going to be up against, most likely it's going to be Indiana will advance. I have a feeling Charlotte will advance. And I have a feeling Indiana will probably bump Charlotte. I hope so, knock on wood. Boston will probably beat Atlanta, but lose to Chicago. So it'll be Chicago, Indiana, and I think that's really the championship. It'll be Chicago, Indiana conference finals. I want to say Chicago because I think there's actually a chance that Charlotte might knock Indy out in the second. So I think it's going to be a Chicago, San Antonio conference finals, ultimate winner. My prediction, San Antonio Spurs, finals MVP Kawhi Leonard, and I think that actually lines up with history too, which would just be bonkers. Man, it's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Unpopular opinions. Yeah, they're all unpopular opinions. Um, yeah. I'm being called a blasphemer. It's great. All right, so now I want to take a real quick look, and we're just going to go through the draft, just so we can talk about the top prospects, and gives the teams that are eliminated some hope. But then we'll do an actual video on a mock draft coming up, and we'll probably invite some of the mock GMs to come on and talk. But basically, the draft's led by Big Three. Embiid is out for most of his first 2 seasons, which is in accordance to real life. Um, Wiggins and Parker are the big stars of the draft. Parker's out a little bit due to the fact that he got injured in pre-NBA. In addition, you also have a draft that'll feature guys like Smart, Exum. This is actually a really stacked draft talent-wise. Honestly, I can see all these guys being all-star guards. I can see basically the entirety of the top being all-star big men. Like, there is no way this draft will fail to produce a superstar. This is a can't miss draft. I mean, Doug McDermott could be an all-star, and he could be a rookie year all-star going in the pick 14 or 15. That's how deep this draft is. You could have a first-year all-star going in the lottery. All right. So, yeah, I'm a probably I'm gonna probably call it and open it up. If any of you guys want to ask any verbal questions, now's the time. And then we'll get yeah, we'll do a test sim, but we're not going to do test sim until after I export the file. So give me 1 second. We'll export all this. And then I'll also do a quick injury check. All right. I don't know if I go here, league, playoffs, and power rankings. So Indiana has an injury and Sacramento. Sacramento's injury is Ryan Anderson. He's out the first round, I think, which is an interesting thorn. And Indiana is missing LaMarcus Aldridge and Harrison Barnes for a combined 5 games. Nothing too big. Yeah. Hey, Dirk did okay. All right. So I think that will do it, and we'll run a super real quick test sim. Just going to test sim predicts Indiana over OKC in 6 with Paul George Finals MVP. All right, there we go.